Marketing Vice President, and we have two special guest speakers who I happen to know very well. We have Andrea Blanchard and Seth Groff, who are our Assurity Life Specialists. So, it's our job as a IMO or a MGA, if you will, to go out there and put, programs together to help you open doors and create the sizzle so that a client is willing to hear your story, in other words, okay? So we understand how that goes. Most of us were agents out there at one point, so we get it, okay? We're not, we haven't been in this position our whole lives, so we understand what it's like to cold call and, just sit there and pitch maybe a term life product or a cash accumulation product. It's not that easy. It's our job to help you differentiate yourself from the competition. So anyway, long story short, a few years back, we put together a college scholarship program. And what's neat is this now allows you not just to talk about, life insurance or critical illness or disability, but to allow you to speak about college planning, college funding. Have you thought about, little Johnny or little Jenny's education in, 15, 16 years, and how do you plan on paying for that? So now you can come in and offer probably the most competitive in some cases, life insurance products with Assurity Life, and then package in a 1 free-year scholarship to any of our 340 colleges across the country at no additional cost to the client or no commission reduction to you, the agent. So it really is a no-brainer and a win-win. Okay, we actually handle all of the costs that are beneath the whole program. So Sage Scholars is the third-party company behind this. And the bottom line is you can go out and sell these products and wear a different hat now, okay, which I think is most important. Learn all about college planning and funding. We even put together a College Professor 101 series that gives you all of the different terms and different lingo and explanations of 529 programs and different FAFSA forms and college aid programs that are available. This way, when you go talk to your clients, you sound intelligent about college planning and funding. So it's a whole turnkey system that we put together for you. And again, most important, it's not costing your clients anything. Okay, so it really is a no-brainer. And I'll just give a quick example, and then we'll move forward. The way I like to picture this is, Joe is a life insurance agent out there in the field, and I'm a life insurance agent out there in the field. And we're both pitching, let's say, a universal life, or no, let's even say a whole life product, $50,000 of whole life. Okay, cash accumulation, very similar. Premiums are neck and neck. I'm selling the Assurity Life whole life product, okay, and Joe is selling Symetra Life product. Okay, everything is pretty much the same. The biggest difference is I'm throwing in this 1 free-year scholarship for little Jenny, who's 2 years old. Okay, the point is, even if the client likes Joe a little bit better, they're going to buy from me every single time. Why? Because of the value added that you're bringing to the table. So that's what we're going to dive into today. And then Andrea and Seth are going to explain Assurity Life's competitive products. They're going to show you some neat niches, e-application, great tools, bullets, basically everything you need to know. So we've been a partner with Assurity Life now going on just about 10 years, A- rated. They're over 125 years old, and I'll let Seth and Andrea dive into that, but they're an awesome company. We have a great relationship with them, and probably one of the best parts is all of our agents can actually deal either direct with the home office, or you can call us and lean on us for any support. So that's a huge plus, okay? They're very old-fashioned with that service and that whole hands-on approach. Okay, so every year we have our annual Agent Expo, and obviously we try to make this bigger and better every year. In fact, Assurity Life is one of the presenters. And so we bring in our top carriers on the life and annuity side from around the country. And what we do is build the day around sales ideas and concepts that you can literally walk away from our expo and start using that evening to make more sales. You're not going to hear how great the companies are and how great their financials are. You're going to hear about sales ideas and topics to help you make more sales. We have a keynote speaker at the end of the day. We bring in breakfast, lunch, snacks throughout the day. We have this on our beachfront South Florida location on April 24th. So a great time to get away, especially from up north. We know what's going on right now. So definitely a day you do not want to miss. And what we do is tie in a qualification, different levels for life, annuity, critical illness, disability, long-term care premium, everything all tied up under one umbrella. In fact, at the $50,000 level, we include round-trip airfare and 2 free nights at our beachfront location. At just $40,000, free round-trip airfare from anywhere in the country, plus 1 free night at our beachfront location. And then starting at just $15,000, we pay for your first night at our beachfront location. And then even if you're new with us, the expo is free to all agents to attend. We pay for everything, so you don't have to worry about that. Even if you're a few hours away by car, it's really a day you don't want to miss. We should have about 200 GAs and agents attend. So just really a day that you won't forget and that you really don't want to miss. Okay, so upcoming training webinars, that's what you're on right now. So every week we try to pick a new topic or sales idea, concept, maybe a new hot product or maybe even a discontinued product. We try to wrap up everything that's going on around the industry in one 40 to 45-minute phone call or webinar, if you will. So on the 18th of February, we're going into our business expense disability sales training. That's 3 p.m. Eastern. The next day on the 19th, we talk about why to use and how to use the correct indexed universal life product. So as we know, indexed UL, especially with living benefit riders, is a huge hot button for 2015. So that's going to be a great call. On the 26th, the following week, we are actually presenting our lead program creator, and then we pulled in a very successful agent who's using the program today, who's going to share his ideas and thoughts with all of our agents around the country. So that's on the 26th of February on Thursday. Don't miss that call, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and that will be well worth your time once again. Okay, so Joe is going to talk about what is the scholarship program, how does it work, and a quick elevator pitch here. Joe?
Thanks, Bill. Yeah, one thing I just mentioned about the scholarship platform, and as we move forward with learning more about the Assurity portfolio, is it's really designed for all different types of clients, whether you're selling final expense, annuity products, universal life, guaranteed UL, whole life, critical illness, disability income products. This program can be used to supplement and actually help generate more sales for every single one of those products. So whether we're targeting people with unborn children, people with young children, even grandparents, everybody's going to benefit from this program. And like Bill mentioned, it doesn't cost the client a cent. It doesn't cost you, the agent, any reductions in commissions or any ongoing fees. We don't even have these, what you'll see with a lot of other programs, production requirements where you have to write, $100,000 or $200,000 of premium. This is available to help you as an agent and, most importantly, to help your client out. So I'll dive right into the scholarship platform, and then we'll talk about some of the program growth and the tools that we make available to every single agent that wants to use this program to help generate more sales. So what is the scholarship platform? It's actually from Sage Scholars, which Bill mentioned, is the nation's largest rewards program, which basically allows you as an agent to give clients up to 1 free year of college tuition. Currently, there are 340-plus participating private colleges in over 46 states, and as we'll see from a couple slides down the road here, the program is really, really growing at an extremely fast rate. These scholarships that you're giving out to your clients are based on tuition reward points earned. So they're basically discounts off that cost of tuition. We'll see in the next slide here that every point of scholarship you give a client is actually a reduction of that tuition cost by $1. So the maximum award that you're actually going to give clients, again, is up to 1 free year of college tuition. Especially in today's economy, every time you turn on the news, read some sort of financial magazine, we're looking at students having to pay off their student debt, which is never easy. The rising cost of education every year, we learn more about how it's more expensive to go to colleges. It's more expensive for those students to take out loans and pay for it. So it really fits a need, especially in the middle America market, where you're not really going to find any other program that's going to help that client out as much. The other thing I love about the scholarship program is it creates loyal customers for life. So there's not one other insurance product that has this benefit to where you can write a policy on a 2-year-old and then see that client actually throughout their life stages use that life insurance policy to help fund college, use the tuition reward points to get up to 1 free year of college tuition, and then have something for the rest of their life that they can use for their nieces, their nephews, even their children and grandchildren. So it creates an ongoing stream of client referrals and new prospects because it's a multi-generational lead system, which is great, especially if you're looking at these whole life or universal life products that are available. Real quickly here, program growth. When we started using the tuition reward program, we had just under 300 colleges. Today, we're up to 340 plus colleges. This number is especially impressive. If you look at all the tuition reward points that have been used since SAGE actually started, we're a little bit over $43 million in submitted membership college discounts. So the average high school senior is using about a little over $13,000 of a guaranteed scholarship, so it's saving them about $3,258 a year. Just last year, there was over 36,000 new students that enrolled in the program. So you can see by the map, every single state, that's listed there has a number that corresponds to the number of schools that are available in that actual state. So it's growing. It was started in the Northeast region of the U.S., which is why there's a higher concentration of colleges, but those colleges are starting to spread across the country. So a lot of great options for those clients, and really the growth that SAGE is experiencing with new colleges and new students is really amazing. This next chart breaks down specifically how the tuition reward points actually work. And one thing I'll mention here is what's so neat about this program is there's no purchase necessary to give clients reward points. What I mean by that is I can literally call my book of business or my clients or prospects and say, hey, I represent this great new scholarship platform. You can save money on college, university, and I'll give you a free 500-point scholarship just for having a quick 5-minute conversation with me. You can also set up a seminar, or as opposed to doing maybe a client dinner or a client luncheon, you can offer free college scholarships for clients or prospects that are willing to come hear about the scholarship platform. Once those clients are in an eligible product, they're going to receive an additional 4,500 points. Now keep in mind, if I give my client a free 500-point scholarship, that's $500 off the cost of college tuition. And in this example, if a client meets with me, we go through the scenario, let's say they purchase an eligible product. After 19 years, they're going to have a little bit under 50,000 reward points. So that's a total of $50,000 off the cost of college education. It might not seem like a lot when we start dealing with 500 points initially, and then 4,500 points for an eligible product, and then 2,000 points every year the policy remains in force. But it really adds up to quite a bit of savings, especially if that client has multiple children, grandchildren. You can actually break up that scholarship between all those different students that are going to be using it. Also, one thing about this tuition reward program, the scholarship points never expire. They never go away. Even if somebody that owns the account passes away, those points can actually be transferred to other family members, and they never get canceled, which is great because they're always going to be using them. So real quickly here on a diagram on how this program works, of course, offer clients, prospects a free 500-point scholarship just for having a quick meeting, maybe a screen share where you talk about the program, you talk about the products. If those clients don't purchase anything, they still receive that free scholarship, that free 500 points. They also receive an additional 500 points of a scholarship every time they give you a client referral. So there's a great referral income stream built into this platform. If your clients purchase an eligible product, again, they earn tuition reward points by actually purchasing those products and paying ongoing premiums. And then those clients actually add their children, their grandchildren, their nieces, their nephews as sponsored students. And then those students redeem those reward points again for up to one free year of college tuition. So the program is really advanced. We've actually come a long way since we started. Bill's going to actually talk a little bit about what the consumer sees and then some tools we put together to actually help you market this program and really make it effective.
Okay, thank you, Joe. We're going to move through this part pretty quickly because we don't want to take any time away from the official presentation with Assurity. So just real quick, this is the back office site that your client will go into to see how many points they have. And again, 1 point is $1 of scholarship. And what's neat is every time they log in, they're going to see your agent name in front of them. So like Joe said, you know, a year, 5 years, 10 years down the road, your name is constantly in front of those clients. And also, the referrals is huge because every time they send a neighbor or a friend to the program and to you, they get another $500. And then probably the number one hook is every enrolled agent can give that $500 scholarship coupon to anyone that attends a meeting, a phone webinar, an appointment, even if they don't buy a product. So that's huge, okay? The old days, you know, they would host a seminar and give away free lunch and talk about life insurance or annuities. Now you can give out these $500 scholarships to every single attendee. So again, you talk about, you know, the value-added proposition. This is a great way to wear another hat besides your typical, you know, term and UL life insurance hat, if you would. Marketing the platform. So once you become an active scholarship agent, you can reach out to all prospects and existing clients to enroll your clients. So what this means is if you sold, let's say, Assurity products in the past that qualified for the program, you can go back and reward the scholarship to those past sales. So that's another big hook. You're going to look like a superhero to these clients that you sold a policy to maybe a year, 5 years ago, you know, whatever the case is. So that's another big plus, and that's a great time to ask for referrals, as we all know. The third step there is start using the scholarship marketing material. We have put together a library of email templates, just a regular PDF email. We have flyers, mailers. We have the Professor 101 series that we put together, which was built to educate our agents on college planning and funding. So we have a bunch of neat stuff that we'll show you right now, and then we'll move forward here. Okay, so consumer marketing. So we have these nice trifolds that we can co-brand with your logo and phone number if that's what you want. We have different pamphlets, brochures, the Professor 101 series on the bottom right. The bottom middle section, that's the actual certificate that you can give out to anyone that joins your meeting, and that's through a phone call or live in person. They are eligible for that $500 scholarship, even with no purchase necessary. So they don't have to buy anything from you. That's another huge hook. Okay, moving forward here, we're going to talk about the agent sales website. So these days, you need to have an online presence, as we all know. I speak about this every time on a webinar or live in one of our meetings. That's huge and very important to grow and be successful in the future and even now. So we give away these free agent websites, and that's our website that we built just so you can get your free website. It's insprofessional.com, and what we did as part of this turnkey package is we have a section just on scholarship, okay? So the point is you want to drive your clients to your website, and then if they click on that scholarship button, they can see all of the schools that are part of the program. They can see how the program works, and then there's even a button that says get more info, and then you get an email that says, hey, Bill Levinson wants more info about the scholarship program. And you call them back, you present the Assurity qualifying product, make the sale, and everybody wins. So that's the whole point of the turnkey system. If there's anything that you want more information on, obviously we will call you or mail or email out any of the material that you're requesting. Okay, so the last slide here is we have a website called collegenavigator.com, and what's neat is every one of those 340 colleges is on this website. So if you want to sit down with a family or parents and talk about a particular school, or you want to see what room and board costs or what tuition acceptance percentages are, anything that you need to know about those colleges is on this website. So it's a great resource. And then, of course, yourfreecollegescholarship.com also has tons of resources, PDFs you can download, all about our scholarship program. So great stuff there. Again, if you have any questions, pick up the phone anytime. That's what we're here for. That's our job. So without further ado, we're going to introduce Seth Groff and Andrea Blanchard from Assurity Life Insurance. They're going to dive into some of Assurity's hot spots, or sweet spots, as Seth likes to say.
All right.
You guys there?
Yep, we're here, and thanks, Bill and Joe. That was a great intro, and that's one of the reasons why I like working with Levinson's and Associates, is that they do provide the agents out there with systems that will truly give them the opportunity to grow their sales. I work with organizations across the U.S., and I don't see other organizations providing that value to their agents that Levinson's and Associates do. So, I always recommend them to two different agents, because they do have systems in place that are going to help you grow your sales. Second, to speak to their agent conference coming up in April, Andrea will be attending that for Assurity, and she has a great sales presentation prepared, which is called Elevate Your Sales. It's a great analogy, and will give you easy to implement sales strategy with your clients. So wanted to mention those two things before we jump in here and talk about Assurity's sweet spots. Today what we're going to accomplish is we're going to take a look at Assurity's life products, and really I'm going to do a high-level overview of the markets where our products fit. If there's something that jumps out to you, something that you'd like to get more information about, give Bill a call, give Joe a call. They can hook you up with Andrea and myself, and we can have a conference call, and we can dive into these ideas in a little bit more detail. But for today, our goal is to really give you a brief overview of what we have to offer, identify the markets where other agents are having success positioning Assurity's products, and maybe give you one or two ideas that can help you grow your sales. So if you're not familiar with Assurity, as Bill mentioned, we are going to celebrate our 125th anniversary today. But why that's important to you and why that's important to your clients. I go to industry meetings, I read industry magazines, like the one that Bill had his picture on a couple months ago. And anytime you pick up an industry magazine or go to an industry meeting, they all talk about how middle America is underserved when it comes to life insurance and life insurance ownership. And so you have all these people about how do we make money, how can we work in this middle income, this middle American market, and be profitable. And the good news is that Assurity has focused on this market for over 125 years. So you don't need to go out and reinvent the wheel if you want to start selling in this market. You can partner with Assurity, you can partner with Levinson, and you can leverage what we've learned working in this market to implement into your business strategy and start growing sales today. And so you might be sitting there and say, great, Seth, but what have you learned when working with this market? And really two things, well, actually I'm going to say three things stand up about what we've learned working with this middle income family. The first one, obviously you can see it up there, is the ease of issue. If you look at middle income families, and how I define it are families that get up and they have to go to work every day to support the lifestyle that their family's been accustomed to. So if you have clients that have to get up and go to work to maintain their lifestyle, Assurity probably has a product that's going to fit that market. But what we've learned working within this demographic is that ease of issue is going to be huge in the purchase of life insurance. And, it makes sense, because if you look at families now, both parents typically work, so they wake up, they drop the kids off at school, they go to work, then then they go pick up the kids from school, they drop them off at music lessons, sports practices, whatever the case might be. Bottom line is they don't get back to their house to sit down until 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and typically they haven't even ate dinner yet. And so people are less willing to go through a real invasive underwriting process with some of these products because they just don't have time. And so ease of issue is going to have an impact with getting coverage. Also, to make ease of issue easier, Assurity is always promoting our e-applications. And how is that an advantage to you, or how is that an advantage to the agent, or excuse me, the client, is that you don't have to be sitting knee to knee with them when you take the application. You can actually meet with a client, talk to them about it. If they decide to move forward and you're not sitting across from them, you actually can do an e-application over the phone with them. The agent still needs to fill it out, but it's just another way that we make it convenient to get these products, because we know that time is very important to Middle America, and the easier it is, the more likely they're going to purchase our products. The second thing that I actually don't have up here on the screen here, but you'll see the common theme in our portfolio of products is that, if you read, again, industry magazines, a lot of times they'll say, well, middle-income families are going to suffer a financial hardship in the event of a premature death for one of the breadwinners, right? That's no surprise. That's pretty common. We know that working in the industry. But what we've asked ourselves at Assurity is, what would happen to this same family if the family suffered a disability or a main breadwinner suffered a critical illness? And the answer to that question is that the family would suffer a financial hardship as well. And so as a result, you're going to see a common theme in our portfolio of products, in that we offer our life products, but we also offer critical illness products and we offer disability products. And if you're a life agent, you might be saying, you know what, that's great, Seth, but I don't focus on those markets. I'm not familiar with them. Well, the good news is that we make it easy for you to get into these markets by adding these riders, or by adding these products as riders to our life products. And so we make it easy in the fact that you don't have to fill out another application. You can just check a box, add a critical illness rider, add a disability income rider, and now you're really protecting against multiple risks for that middle America, middle income client. And as a result, you're going to make more money and the client's going to be better protected. So it's really a win-win for everyone involved. So remember, the third thing is that, or the second thing, excuse me, is that cover multiple risks with one product at Assurity. And then the third thing that we've learned working with middle income families is that purchasing life insurance is not their primary financial objective. And what I mean by that is that if you meet with your client, you ask them what's their number one, financial objective, they're probably going to say something like maybe savings for retirement, maybe college funding, like with the SAGE program. Maybe it's just establishing a little emergency account. Whatever the case might be, they're not going to say, well, my top financial objective is to wake up and buy a whole life policy or a cash value universal life policy. That's not what their main financial objective is going to be. But if you want to sell more of these products in Middle America, you have to be able to show them how a whole life policy can help them achieve their financial goal, or how a universal life policy can help them achieve their financial goal. And if you can do that, they're more likely to buy those cash value life products. And like Bill was talking about earlier, the SAGE program is a great example of that. College funding is their financial objective. Here's a whole life plan and how it can help them achieve that financial goal. So that's kind of how our portfolio is designed. And like I said, what we're going to cover today, we're just going to hit on each product real briefly, talk about the sweet spots, where people are buying the products, maybe give you one or two ideas about how to position it, and then really if there's interest in learning more, give Joe a call, give Bill a call, give Andrea or myself a call, and we'll talk about it. So with Assurity, we are a mutual company, right? And so our bread and butter product is our participating whole life plan. Obviously, it's a participating plan, so it's going to pay dividends, but really we see this product being sold primarily in 3 markets. Where we've seen the most growth with this product over the course of about the past 2 years is utilizing the whole life as a cash accumulation vehicle and helping clients achieve those other financial goals. The way that we do that is with the value enhancement rider. And you might be sitting there and say, but yeah, Seth, isn't whole life kind of out of date, and isn't there, UL, you might be able to get a little bit, illustrate a little bit higher return? And the answer is yes, but why people like whole life insurance in these cash accumulation scenarios is the guarantees, meaning that I can look out at age 65, age 75, and I know how much cash value I'm going to have in my plan. And so that's what people like about utilizing a whole life policy in these cash accumulation scenarios. So, we have a lot of agents that maybe utilize some of the different selling systems out there, like infinite banking, Circle Wealth, whatever the case might be. And they're really grabbed onto our participating whole life plan just because of how competitive it is in cash accumulation scenarios. And as a result, we've really seen our business pick up in that particular market. The second market where we're selling a lot of our participating whole life is with what I call the perm term blend. And so when you work with middle income families and you talk to them about whole life, you know, what do you think their number one objection is to purchasing whole life insurance? And the answer is, or what I've learned working in this market, is that their number one objection to purchasing whole life insurance is that they think it's too expensive, right? If you lay out all the qualities of a whole life policy, they like it. They want those qualities. But then when you throw the price tag out there, they say, whoa, time out. You know, I can't really afford that, or they're just not willing to pay that much for life insurance, which is typically the case. They usually can afford it, they're just not willing to pay for it. So what I said is, well, what if I could show you a way where we can give you the qualities of whole life insurance, but we can sell it to you at a price affordable like term insurance? And you know, they say, wow, that's great. You know, how do we do that? And the answer is with the perm term blend. And so we sell a lot of the term rider on Assurity's whole life policy. The reason is because we can actually allow 10 times the base. So a lot of our competitors out there will only allow like a 50-50 split. We'll actually do a 10 times the base. So if you have somebody that buys a $15,000 whole life policy, they could add $150,000 onto that term rider. And the advantage of doing it that way is that now you're lowering the cost of the actual plan, and you're giving them the qualities of the whole life. You know, why is going this way better for you, the agent? You know, you're going to actually get the whole life commission on that term portion, which is going to have a lot better renewals than if you just went out and wrote a standalone term. You know, a standalone term is going to have minimal renewals, where if you write that term rider, you're actually going to get the renewals on the whole life. And so in the long run, you make a lot more money by writing that term rider than writing a standalone policy. So, you know, everybody wins. It's a great deal for the client. It's a great deal for the agent. But bottom line, what you're doing is you're giving them options. You know, the downside to writing a term policy is that at the end of the term, you don't have any options. You might be able to go annual renewable, but, you know, that may or may not be the best thing to do as far as cost. Here, you're at least going to have some permanent coverage in place. So it's a great option. The third market where we sell a lot of our whole life policies is actually juvenile policies. We get people calling up all the time saying, you know, do you have a policy that competes against the Gerber Grow-Up Plan? And from the research that I've done in the marketplace, our participating whole life really competes real favorable with that. And so we write a lot of our policies. Actually, about 33% of the policies that we issue at Assurity is with juvenile cases. So we sell a lot in that market. The other niche that I want to point out to you about our participating whole life, and then we'll move on to our next one, is that we do have non-medical limits built into this plan. And so if you have clients that are 60 and below, they can actually get up to $149,999 face amount on a non-medical basis if they're just applying for the standard risk class. And so most of your clients, you know, will probably fall in that standard risk class. And if they're applying for a policy under that face amount, they actually can get that policy on a non-medical basis. It's not a non-med rate; it is a true standard risk class. So it's a great niche there as well, especially if they're applying for smaller face amounts. And if they're 61 and above, you know, we do go up to $74,999 on that non-medical basis. So again, that convenience factor that I was talking about earlier. You know how Assurity has simplified issue non-medical products and fully underwritten. Here's an example of one of the non-medical products that you can issue to make it convenient for the client. So when you talk to me, I'm always going to be talking about whole life because, like I said, being a mutual company, that we're always trying to grow this line of business, and it's really a product that I think is for middle America because of the guarantees, and you're eliminating, you know, unnecessary risk with your life insurance by going with a whole life policy. So first product that I want to talk about. The second product that I want to talk about is Assurity's Current Assumption Universal Life. It's actually called Lifescape Universal Life, not Premier Universal Life anymore. But again, this product's going to be very similar to the whole life in the markets that we sell a lot of it. We're going to sell a lot of it in cash accumulation scenarios and in that perm term blend. you might be saying, well, when would somebody want to go with the UL versus the whole life? And the answer to that is if they need flexibility. You know, the advantages of a current assumption universal life is that the crediting rate is a conservative crediting rate based on a portfolio rate, opposed to, you know, a point-to-point on an index. So it's going to be a more steady accumulation in a current assumption than like an IUL, but it's still relevant for your more conservative clients. But if you have small business owners or you have young couples that like the idea of a cash value plan, but their cash flow is such where they need flexibility in how they fund it, a current assumption UL is a great plan for them. Again, the perm term blend, if you do it on a UL chassis, you're even going to get that premium down less than with the whole life. So, you know, we see actually more of the perm term blend wrote on our current assumption UL than our whole life. But it still has the same non-med limits, the $149,000, $74.99. Also, when we designed this product, we dropped the minimum face amount down to $25,000. And so, you know, one market where we see this being issued at, because of the non-med limits and because of that lower face amount, is, you know, if a lot of agents that are out there like writing simplified whole life as like a final expense, a final needs type product, if they come across the healthy client, a lot of times they'll write them a UL plan instead of that simplified whole life. The reason for that is that they can get the same amount of death benefit for a lesser cost. Now, remember, it's going to be non-medically underwritten, but it's not simplified underwritten, so they're only doing this strategy with their healthy people, but that's another place where we're starting to see more of our UL is with that smaller face amounts in the senior markets where they're, you know, just looking for enough to cover, you know, burial, maybe leave a little bit to the church, whatever the case might be. But we actually dropped that when this new product came out, and we really seen that those lower face amounts really pick up with our agents. You know, feature differentiators with this product. I always like to talk about our waiver of premium on this product. Our product waives the cost of insurance and the operating costs, but it credits a minimum annual premium to the account. And so what that means is that a lot of other ULs waivers, all they do is waive the cost of insurance, and as a result, the cash value doesn't build up very fast because it's just, there's nothing, no additional premium going towards the cash. Well, ours actually waives the cost of insurance, and it credits the account a minimum annual premium, so the account continues to grow in a similar fashion to if you would have originally illustrated it at, you know, roughly a target premium. So what that means is that if that individual ever gets off of waiver, that there's still going to be cash in the policy, and the policy is still going to run out and be real appealing in terms of the accumulation standpoint. So I always talk about the waiver because looking at a lot of the other ULs out there in the marketplace, they just waive the cost of insurance, which is okay if they stay on waiver permanently, but if they ever come off, you know, they get a letter in the mail saying they have to dump a bunch of money in the UL, and they get mad, the policy lapsed, nobody wins, where with ours, it'll continue to grow. So the other advantage of, you know, a current assumption UL is that we do have that high guaranteed crediting rate of 3%. Our current assumption UL right now is crediting 4.75, so, you know, very competitive in that arena for a current assumption UL. The other niche where we've been selling a lot of our current assumption UL, and this is actually the presentation that Andrea is going to be giving down in Florida in April, is how do you package the UL with the critical illness and disability income riders. And it all goes back to the fact that that family is going to suffer a financial hardship if they suffer a critical illness or a disability. And so she has this package selling concept that she's going to present that's really has been a hit, and I think that if you attend, you're going to really enjoy and be eager to go out and start using it immediately. So that's our current assumption UL. Our non-med term 350 product, you know, in the past, this has been one of our more popular products. I will be candid with you. We recently went, March 1st, we're actually going to have a price increase for our non-med term 350. You know, obviously, the reason for that is that due to that pricing didn't meet experience. But, you know, when we were looking at what to do with this product, you know, and the markets where this product competes, we had basically three options. We could, pull the product, we could lower comp, or we could, bump up the rate slightly. And we chose to bump up the rate slightly because it would still be priced competitively in the markets where this product is sold. So as a result, we still have this product, and it's looking at where we've typically sold this product in the past. From a price standpoint, it's still going to be very competitive. Where we're really looking to sell this product is for your standard risk class. So if you have people that would normally be a standard risk class and they're looking for $250,000 of face amount and below, and they're basically 45, 50, about 40, 45 and below, this is where this product is going to be priced the most competitive. Traditionally, if you look at the term market, you have fully underwritten term products and you have simplified issue term products. And non-med term 350 sits right in the middle of those two markets, and it kind of competes in both. And what I mean by that is that, if somebody's going a simplified route, that's fine, but if they're willing to answer a few more questions, in the underwriting process, they can get a little bit better rate with a non-medical product than with a simplified. So that's one option. Or if they're going fully underwritten and they want the convenience and they're going to be a standard risk class, the non-med term is going to be price competitive in that marketplace too if they want that convenience factor. So still a great product. Where we're primarily seeing this product sold is obviously we're seeing a lot of people sell it as mortgage insurance. We also see a lot of people adding the CI and DI riders to this plan. Now remember, with Assurity's life products and the CI and DI riders, ours is a little bit different than a lot of other riders out there in that ours actually pay in addition to the death benefit. So what I mean by that is if you add a $25,000 CI rider, it's going to pay in addition to the death benefit. It's not going to accelerate the death benefit. Now, with that being said, the CI rider does cost additional premium. But here's the deal. The client's better protected, and as you, the agent, you actually make more money because instead of just having a benefit that's built into the original premium, we're going to pay you to go out and sell these since it's additional money because you get the same comp on these riders as the life portion of it. So the client's going to be better protected. You're going to make more money. So why not incorporate these into the sales process? And it's an easy way to boost your sales, even if you're just adding a $10,000, $15,000 CI or DI rider. But remember, with the non-med term, basically what people like about it is it's non-medically underwritten, meaning that they don't have to do the paramed, blood, and urine. Basically what we do is you take a full life application where you ask all the life questions. We do an MIB, script check, motor vehicle report, phone interview is likely, possible APS for significant health risk, but they don't have to do that paramed, blood, and urine, and so it's the convenience factor that comes in with this plan and why people like it. But that's kind of an overview of that product. Our 350 plus, actually we are bringing the rates down on this product. It's our fully underwritten term product, and actually the rates on this product are going to be lowered on March 1st. Typically where we see this being sold is traditionally with people that want to get a life insurance in place and convert to our permanent products at a later time. That's where we normally see this, but otherwise, the older ages we seem to be a lot more competitive, and then also actually the real young ages like 30 and below, this product's actually real competitive in that marketplace as well. So 60 and above, 30 and below, that's kind of where, if you compare us to other term carriers where if you're just out spreadsheeting, that's kind of where you see our little pockets. But, typically this is going to be sold in situations where they're looking to convert at a later time, or they want that CI and DI rider added to it so that they can cover multiple risks. Then, LifeScape Term 350 Plus is a great solution because, like I said, there's not other carriers out there that offer those benefits. So next product, just real quick, want to cover is our simplified whole life product. Where we primarily see this being sold, we see a lot of Medicare agents selling it, P&C agents selling it. Bottom line is this is kind of the Assurity's final expense market. Assurity with this product, I'll just throw this out there. We monitor our quality of business a lot closer than a lot of the other carriers that work in this market. So if you're looking for a simplified whole life product where you basically just take an app on everybody and throw it at the company and see if it gets through, we're not the company for you, okay? We want you to, do the necessary steps in field underwriting, make sure they don't have any of the declinable conditions, go through the field underwriting process, and if you do that, you're going to get your clients a great product at a competitive price. But if you're just one of those agents that just take apps on everybody and then throw it in and see if it gets through, we don't want that business. So we do want agents that are going to take the steps with this product. But if you're looking, the reality is that we have all these baby boomers, turning 65 on, like 10,000 a day that are turning 65. And what's happened is that a lot of these baby boomers, they had term insurance, while they were working, and that term insurance now is expiring, right, because the term is up, or they had life insurance through work, through a group plan, or they thought they had life insurance through work. Bottom line is they're retiring, and now they're losing all their life insurance coverage. Well, that's too bad. That's we wish they would have taken the necessary steps. But what's happened is that now it's created a market for simplified whole life. And what I mean by that is that most 65-year-old people have some sort of health condition, or a lot of them do, especially in Middle America. They might be slightly overweight or whatever the case might be. But if they want a convenient, easy product to cover their final needs, this is a great product to implement in that market. Just remember that the one thing that I will say about Assurity is look at the declinable conditions list. If it falls in the declinable conditions list, do not submit it because it's not going to get through. And then also, don't throw us everything because we do monitor the quality of business. But basically the process on it, you take an application. If they're 60 and above, you do a phone interview at the point of sale, submit the application, turn around 4 days. So quick, easy, simplified application, simplified process, and we've seen a lot of success with our simplified whole life. We've seen this business grow in the past, but it's because of all the baby boomers. But like I said, we sell a lot of this through Medicare agents that they have all these people that they're turned 65. They go out and talk to them about med sups or whatever the case might be, and then after open enrollment they go back and talk to them about simplified whole life. So you work that market, it could be a great fit for you. Last product that I want to touch on just real quick is our AxiFlex product. This is an accidental death benefit product. It's the closest thing that Assurity has as a guaranteed issue product. Basically with this accidental death only, you only have to answer one health question on the application, whether or not you've been diagnosed with HIV. As long as you can answer that favorably, this product gets issued and out the door. Where we see this being sold, well, first of all, if you have a file cabinet full of declines due to health conditions and you didn't know what to do with them, come back and write an AxiFlex policy. It's basically like a term policy to 75 that's going to cover them if they die due to an accident. And so first of all, go back to all your declines on the health and say, hey, we have a policy now that we can get issued. It's only going to cover you for accidents, but at least you're going to have some coverage, and it's inexpensive, right? So first, go back to all your declines. Second, look at your high-risk occupations, right? We sell a lot of this to police officers, construction workers, firefighters, truck drivers. If you look at truck drivers, the problems with working with a lot of truck drivers is that a lot of times their height is too short for their weight, meaning that a lot of times they don't fall on the height and weight chart of a fully underwritten product. And so as a result, a lot of times they won't qualify. They usually have high cholesterol, high blood pressure because they're stopping eating that chicken fried steak at truck stops. Whatever the case might be, I don't want to stereotype truck drivers, but a lot of times it's just tough to get them coverage. And the other reason it's tough to give them coverage is because they're never home, right? They're always out on the road. They're always out driving, and then when they are home, they don't want to sit down and talk about life insurance. Well, here's an easy product to get them because you can sell it to them over the phone. There's basically, you take the application and they're done, and so you can get it set up and they're going to be covered. And truck drivers see accidents on a daily basis, so they know that they happen and they're more likely to buy it. So I'm always about selling this AxiFlex policy to truck drivers. I think it's a great market, and I think it's an underserved market with people out talking about it. Finally, or another market where we see high-risk hobbyists, motorcyclists, boating, ATV, people like that. If you're a P&C agency, make a list of all the people that have motorcycle insurance through you. and go back and talk to them. Just call them up, say, hey, basically I have you pre-approved for an accidental death benefit policy. It's only going to cost you X. Trust me, AccuFlex is real inexpensive. So you call them up, you say, I got you pre-approved for this accidental death. You know, it's not going to cost you very much. It's only going to cost you $5 a month. Would you like to sign up now? I can sign you up over the phone. They say, yeah, sure. Now you say, oh, by the way, who handles the rest of your traditional life insurance planning? And now they might say, you know what, no one, or I don't have that, or I have it through work. Bottom line is you're calling them up and you're starting the conversation about life insurance. And once you get through your motorcycle riders, then go to the people that have boating insurance through it, whatever the case might be. But it's a great way to go back if you're a property and casualty agency, or if you have a relationship with a property and casualty agent, to go back and cross-sell to that P&C business. Then the final one is mortgage protection. You know, we sell a lot of our non-med term in the mortgage protection market. Here is like what I always call the, well, at least you're going to take this AccuFlex. I mean, I'm telling you, AccuFlex, since it's accidental only, is real inexpensive, meaning that you can get, you know, $50,000 of accidental coverage for less than $10, right? And so you go and you talk to them about term insurance. They say, no, that I can't afford term insurance right now. Say, okay, fine. Well, let's at least get you this AccuFlex in place. It's only going to cost you, you know, $10, $15 a month, and then at least you'll, you know, if you're going to die, you know, it's probably going to be due to an accident. We'll at least get that coverage. Just a great alternative for that. So with that, I know I flew through a lot there in the past 30 minutes, but hopefully you have a good idea, overview over Assurity's life products and kind of the highlights and the niches of where we're selling our products right now. With that, I'll turn it back over to Bill and Joe, and if there's any questions, we can answer them at this time.
Yeah, thank you, Seth. Actually, the number of agents that are on, we have to have the call closed. So
okay.
If anyone has any questions, of course, call or email us. We can get Seth or Andrea involved at that time, or we can answer them for you. So please feel free. And you know, I think that was a great presentation, and we appreciate it. And just if you want to jot down a quick note, you know, simplified disability, critical illness, that guaranteed issue AccuFlex plan, no-brainer. Non-med term, go-to company. The whole life product, awesome product. The new universal life with the updates is awesome. So definitely a go-to. And then keep in mind, with those great products, you can package in that 1-year free scholarship. So great value added. Okay, with that said, I'll just end with this. Just always remember that the industry is always about changing, and that's exactly what we will all need to do, and that's from an IMO standpoint, agent standpoint, and a carrier standpoint. We will all need to change to keep moving